Okay, I think I'm live. There we go. Hey, my name is Dr. Sharnael, Wolverton-Sehon. It's kind of windy, sorry. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about scalar waves. Scalar waves, as I have talked to you guys about before, can be used for both positive and negative. They were, I probably most likely reverse engineer technology from ET stuff way back in the 30s, 40s, Tesla stuff. They used it in for MK Ultra things, for the Montauk Project. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy technology, and they can also use this for positive healing purposes, and for not just mind control, but to bring positivity to the mind and or negativity to the mind, depending on the user. And if any of you guys have ever studied David Hawkins, he's got a book that talks a lot about this, and I would encourage you to look into it, Power and Force. But just recently, because of Sasha Stone, he had an interview with a couple named Elena and Alejandro, and they were actually doing a session and or different measurement scales with people who have passed, who were deemed witches or warlocks. And some of you may have seen my video about this, but you know, just because someone is called a witch or a warlock doesn't mean that they are a witch or a warlock, and vice versa. And so what I did not know, and I just am learning now, and it's pretty crazy, awesome, beautiful technology to be able to use scalar waves for the purpose of finding out and measuring people's biofield in different categories. So you can find out what a person is in incarnation before they actually are born, in utero, at birth. We can use the technology to find out their loyalty, their integrity, a person's relationship stance, or how they view or perceive relationships, how they perceive money or wealth or philanthropy. It also can measure if the person is in their full purpose, if they're aligned, how connected to God they are. I'm trying to think of all the different categories. Their clarity, their intuition, if they're aligned in their role or their purpose, and their access or ability to be in the now. That was a biggie. Also, if they enjoy being in their purpose, there's a percentage for that. Also, their level of joy, their level of creativity. So all of this can be detected in the biofield. Everything, all the thoughts, all of who you are. And they can even go into looking into like 0 to 5 years old, 5 years old to 10 years old, 10 years old to 16, 16 to 20. And they will go through with each chunk of your timeline of who you are. And they can tell you what was going on, what your numbers were for each. And also any emotions that may go up or down. So if you may incarnate at a certain level, but maybe there's a drop at birth, and it can tell you what were the feelings that you had to cause the drop. And they can also tell you why there was a drop. So if it was an outside force, or if it was some betrayal, or a pastor or a teacher, or a betrayal with a spouse or a friend. I mean, it's very, 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 very specific. I am like blown away by this technology. I really want to get this technology. I also would like to have them on my show, and we're working on getting them on the show. Now, to give you a little idea, for instance, they scanned several people in this one episode that Sasha had, and you guys can find this on the internet, but they did like Joan of Arc, and that caught my eye because I was like, what is this about? But they scanned Joan of Arc, and of course she's like 700 and above is illumination. Like, you're great, you're awesome, you're very connected to God, you're definitely in your power, and you're doing what you're supposed to. But she had major awesome scores, like very high in creativity, connection to God, connection to herself, her purpose, her role. She didn't always enjoy her role, but she had a drop. I'm trying to remember what she incarnated at. I want to say it was like 600 or 700 or maybe 800, but then she dropped to courage, or at birth, and with finances too. And there was just different ones. You guys have to watch the video, but to just give you an understanding. And then there were other people who were deemed witches or warlocks, even one burned at the stake or hung or whatever, that actually came back with really, really positive scores. So these people were saints, and yet they were, dragged around and put to death for basically incorrect accusations, which is terrible. And what's insane is one of the people that they tested, turns out I'm friends with their niece. and that's a whole different conversation, and maybe I'll get her on and we can talk about it. But she heard and watched the episode and was like, oh my God, because this is a family member that literally they had on the gravestone of her family member, that of the wife and the husband, that they were considered witches and died for being witches, and yet they were saints and tested like in way illumination, like above and beyond. And so this was like vindication for her to see that her family name had been dragged around because supposedly they had witches in her family, and then here she is, like, vindicated through this technology. So anyway, I would like to get them on the show. I'd like to have them on so you can kind of get a little more information, because guarantee you I'm not giving you the best interpretation of just what I've investigated so far. I can tell you that I actually personally had my own scan here and just got my results here in the last day. I'm honestly blown away. And I was emotional. I literally cried through the entire thing because I was like trying to keep my stuff together. So if you do end up getting your own scan, definitely have your Kleenex and have a big notebook and lots of ways to record it or write it down, because it's a lot of information. I've had to go back and listen a few times. Now, the other thing I'm going to tell you is they do have a private group. It's a membership, and this membership contains other living people that they have scanned that they have not made public. You can only access this group through the link that I gave you, and there is a cost. It's $97, but I'm telling you, I think there's 26 episodes, or 25 or 26 episodes in there now, and for each episode they're usually scanning 4 to 6 people, and they have scanned and read people like David Icke, Alex Jones, Hillary, Fauci, Trump, Biden, Sanders, who else? Choose to remember. Jesus Christ, Mary Magdalene, Gandhi, Mandela, Princess Diana, Jackie O, Melania, trying to remember. I mean, there's so many. And this is all private. But I'm telling you, it is eye-opening, to say the least, to actually see where your discernment is. Because again, everything is in the code, and it's all in the field, and it can be detected and measured, which is, talk about major, I mean, this is technology beyond. And they give this information with such neutrality. They explain, how to just, that this isn't a witch hunt or anything, but this is just so people can maybe, see what they're dealing with on the earth right now, and how to really trust your, intuition, or where you're at, or if you're even on the right track. And I've been kind of blown away by by all the different people. I've not watched all of them, because that would be hours and hours, but I had to get on and encourage people to at least look into it, because I know they're going to do a price change on December 14th, which is coming up, and you may choose to invest now if you're going to get something for yourself. This is a great opportunity to invest in yourself. I mean, it's a big opportunity to really see what's going on with you on all the levels. And I don't get behind a whole lot of different things out there, but when something is really close to my heart, and I really connect not just with the technology but with the actual people, that's really important to me, then this is something I can really definitely get behind. And I am just, again, not just blown away by my own numbers and just the revelation of knowing, where I need to focus and what I need to do, and what I can do and what I have done. And it was so accurate. I mean, very, very accurate. And to know that a machine can be that accurate. Now, they also will test, they have tested organizations like the CIA, the FBI, the Vatican. This is all in there. And that is definitely an eye-opening thing too. So, and maybe not, maybe it's not a surprise to you at all, but to actually hear the numbers and to go into the categories of what everything is. Now, one thing I will say too is what's so interesting is when they did Aleister Crowley, for example, and this is a public one, so I'm not giving out any way from the membership. I'm not going to speak about anything from the membership because we're not supposed to, but the ones that are public, the Aleister Crowley thing, one of them about him being in the present moment was actually really, really low score, and that was because he did psychedelic drugs and that, things like that. So he wasn't literally in his body, let alone being present, which is pretty accurate. But what was super weird, not weird, but just interesting, is a lot of these people that score terrible, like Hitler and some of the people alive that are on the planet right now that I can't say their names, that scored serial killer levels. When it came to enjoying their role or knowing what their role was, they were actually 100% knowing what their role was and enjoying it. And that is just, again, wow. It's, to know that people, if you want to call them people, are here with that low vibration, actually enjoy, and they know what they're doing, and they're in alignment with what they're doing, and they're enjoying it. That is a little scary. So it would be good for anyone to jump in and get access to this, to invest in it, to invest in you for your own knowledge, to know what's going on your planet right now. And maybe this isn't for you, and if that's okay, I'm a data teacher, technology person, and this is just something for me, then great. You don't have to do anything. Just like when I tried to talk about a really good movie the other day, everyone's like, $17, okay, well then this isn't for you. No big deal. I'm just saying, 1,000 Pieces, it was a really good movie, and it was well done, and it was very informative, and I'm interviewing the guy next week. So please take what I have to say with a grain of salt, and if it's not for you, I don't need to hear your remarks about how you're not going to do it. Whatever. This is just me talking, and my opinion is just my opinion. So check it out if you feel resonating with any of this, and just keep praying for our world and for humanity, and keep your frequency up. This has been going on quite a bit. High vibes, good water, healthy diet, grounding, magnesium, baths, vitamins. Do all the things to keep your vibration and keep grounded in this time. I love all of you so much, and I hope that you guys have the best week. Just keep praying for our world and keep loving each other well. All right, talk to you soon.